I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What is up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome back to our Jeremy After Show. We're breaking down Season 1, Episode 7 today, Scorched Earth. This was a doozy of an episode, if I do say so myself. My name is Taylor Gates. I'm joined by two lovely panelists today.
Hey, I'm Ashmin. Hey, guys.
Yes, and this is Ebone Chatman. How are you?
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited to be breaking this down. This was wild. This was so wild. I'm so glad that we finally got this mystery solved. Not solved, but we finally got to see the mystery at least happen.
Yes.
What were your guys' overall thoughts on this?
What a great episode. We're okay, surprises everywhere, right? Can I just say it? Colette, really? Is she was the one. Behind the kill.
I mean, that's what it looks like. This one's the cheater, Taylor over here, because she already read the book.
I know. I'm trying to keep it in her wraps.
Oh my gosh, she's over here. She's the major spoiler alert. But
yes,
I mean, for what we see for right now, I think it looks like Will looks like he broke into her hotel room and she axed him. And you guys, my prediction was wrong. I'm so sorry that I led you astray. I thought it was gonna be Will doing the murder. I didn't think he was gonna die.
Yeah,
I thought I thought
that was the obvious choice that he would die because he was, spinning out of control and being crazy. But no, he died. I'm so surprised.
I thought he was the killer as well. Exactly what you said. He was totally out of control. We've seen more of it in this episode.
Yeah.
So to see the end result, sorry guys, I just had to blurt that out.
We had to just get it out of our system.
I did not expect that at all. Yeah.
I'm so excited to break that down. But we also had regionals this episode. We had so much going on. I want to start off talking about Coach and Addy in this episode because they are getting super close, kind of as always. Addie's kind of freaking out a little bit. She's feeling the pressure of regionals, and Colette is trying to get her to kind of snap out of it, get her to focus. And so, of course, she's like, hey, just come to this sauna with me. Do you guys think that's an appropriate
100%
thing to be happening?
Yes, it's so weird. That is so weird. No?
Yes.
Trust me.
I mean, especially and all this one-on-one attention. Seriously, hold the group together. We've seen how much drama even happened before they stepped out to the stage. So, no, I don't think it's appropriate. But they've been doing this entire season.
Right, they really have been.
And now it's these intimate Addie and Colette moments and
in a sauna.
And she opened up, didn't she?
Yeah.
Colette really opened up about just Will and what she felt and how she needed. You don't know what you have until it's gone, basically, is what she was trying to get at. To be I thought I needed Will, but maybe I needed a taste of it to realize I'm actually fine with my husband. I'm actually okay with that.
Yeah, she's such an open book. But I do think that she is still maybe struggling a little bit or isn't quite sure of herself because she's Matt and I were always connected, he grounded me, but sometimes you need to spin out of control to see what you kind of have. And Addie's oh, and you don't need that anymore. She's well, I didn't necessarily say that. So I kind of think, what do you think? Do you think that her intention in this moment is to maybe go back to Will eventually, or do you think that she's thinking, no, this is 100% cut off?
I think she wants to mend things with her husband and her family. I think she's seen both sides of it. And so I think her intention is to say, hey, I have to cut this off with Will and I need to concentrate on what is my future and moving forward. But I did appreciate the summary now. The previous episodes were kind of confused, well, what is it with her and Will? Is it just passion? Why does she choose Matt as her husband? So I really appreciated getting the background of okay, he is her grounding mechanism. She was spinning out of control, and this guy kind of really helped her, sort that stuff out and put her feet on the ground. And I could totally understand why that's attractive for a woman, the man that kind of holds you down, opposed to the one that's just passion, right? We kind of need more in both.
Right.
Yeah. Which is why I don't feel like she was down with Will, just because, she likes that balance. It's Will's kind of that exciting, vacation bay, the one that
Vacation bay!
Vacation bay. He's the one that you go to when you just want to have a good time, do something fun, have sex in a car, go on a picnic, do whatever. It's fun. Because he doesn't have that regular 9-to-5 position, so he's a little bit more open as to her husband. He's business bay, He's like husband material where he's like holding you down. He comes home, the 9 to 5, and you get into a routine. And I feel like not all the time, but like sometimes that gets a little like boring in relationships. So you're like, what else are we doing tonight? Like having dinner? Okay, like Is
it chicken again?
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like Will with the vacation babe, she needs that like I think any woman, any man, everyone needs that balance in their life.
It's
so.
just unfortunate that it can't come from the same guy for her. That would make it a lot simpler.
That would definitely make things easier for her.
Yeah, we do talk a lot about Colette and her relationship with Will. She definitely opens up, but we also kind of have Addie's like. I think this scene, it's obviously we've seen in other scenes too, but this is a scene that was like so red lights obvious that Addie is indeed attracted to Colette, like very much wants to like have a romantic relationship with her, I think, in this scene in particular. And Colette continues to sort of feed that. And it's like, yeah, I came to this town for you, for a winner. How are you unpacking this, you guys? Like, what are your thoughts on sort of how Colette is talking to Addie and how Addie's kind of looking at her?
I'm confused about the sexual tension around that. Like, it's like they allude that to each other, but I don't really see it. Like,
really?
Even with the whole conversation with her and Beth, like before they went out on stage, that was like a relationship conversation opposed to a friendship conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I really don't know. Like, is there attraction there? But I don't know if it's a sexual attraction.
Interesting. What about you, Ebone?
I think it's funny because I think this is like actually one episode that I didn't feel like there was sexual tension, which is really interesting because I think that we've said that so much beforehand.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there's not. I'm just saying in this episode, I just didn't see it. When Colette and Addie are talking in the sauna, I think when she's like, "Oh, I'm here for you," like I think it was like more of like an encouragement to be like, I came back to coach winners and like I connected with you, and so I'm now here for you to help you kind of like exceed or excel or whatever. That's kind of how I was taking it. And Addie's, she's only 15, 16. So of course she's just like listening with open ears. She looks up to Colette, so she's just like, okay, like just taking it all in. I didn't personally feel like there was sexual tension in that.
That's interesting.
You did.
I don't know. Yes, I did, because I mean, we see, especially before Addie goes to the sauna, like she's like examining her body, like making sure she looks good, like goes in there, and when just like the way that she's kind of staring at her, and like I think Colette knows what she's doing too. She's like, when I came here for you, like she knows how that's gonna make Addie feel.
I think she's preying off of her vulnerability a bit, but I still don't know if it's in a sexual way. I don't
know if Colette's reciprocating necessarily.
Yeah, but she is playing on some vulnerability because she knows that Addie's totally in tune with it. She's totally feeding off of whatever Colette tells her, and I get it. Like, she looks up to her.
Right. And on top of that, it's kind of like Addie knows a lot of information about Colette. I mean, so does Beth, but I think it's a different type of relationship. Like, so I don't feel like Colette's threatened by Beth saying anything because, like, her dad's so involved.
Yeah.
In the, like, sponsorship, and she wants to also go further and whatnot. So I don't feel like Beth would say anything, but Addie, again, like we said earlier in other episodes, she's the person that people continuously lean on. Mm-hmm. And so now that she knows, like, Addie's is deeper into it because, you know, she's babysitting the baby and, like, doing all this stuff and, like, really close to the family. And then who's the first phone call, like, at the end of the scene?
Right.
It's to Addie, you know? So it's kind of like there's a different type of this, like, relationship leaning on each other type of situation.
Yeah.
Different type of codependence.
Yeah.
It's super weird. It's
weird because she's, like, 30. Like, you don't have, I don't know. Why are you calling on a 15 or 16-year-old to come help you with this, like, insane, like, why would you even want to involve her?
Because she's a little selfish, I would say. Just maybe a little bit. Wow, I'm so excited to keep talking about this. But before we do, Ebone, can you tell everyone a little bit more about what's happening here at AfterBuzz?
Yes, we love being here at AfterBuzz. We love to share our opinions. We would love to hear your opinions, so please continue to comment in the comments below. Like our video, share it. We are on all platforms. We love love to see that. Thank you so much for making us the ESPN of TV talk. We have a variety of TV shows, so please continue to watch. And of course, if you cannot watch us, you can always find us on Spotify and on iTunes, and make sure you give us that 5-star rating.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes.
We're like a family here at AfterBuzz, and guess what? Beth saw her family in this episode too. And I don't think it's as close-knit as we are here at AfterBuzz. Wow. Okay, so Beth's mom drove in for the competition, which I was like, aw, that was sweet. This is like maybe a stepping stone. But
Right.
I personally was not surprised that didn't last. Did you guys know that like other shoe was going to drop with her?
I thought it was going to be different. I thought it was going
Yeah.
to be more wild, more crazy. I mean, they did kind of mention, like, oh, remember when you were, like, on the tabletop and the thing busted you in the eye and you did this and this happened, you know? So I thought it was going to be something crazy at the competition or, like, you know, I don't know,
Right.
mom falls out or something. But it actually was more civilized than my expectation.
Yeah.
I was happy for Beth. Like, you know, we see her smiling again. She's excited. Like, she has her parents together and they put this dinner just for her. I was kind of waiting for, like, Tacey to walk in any second. I'm like, she's
Right.
going to ruin it for her. She's going to ruin it for her. But it wasn't ruined. And it was really nice to, like, you know, see her be embraced by both parents and all the drama that's went down in their life. But yeah, like you said, it didn't take too long for it to unravel and, you know, everything originally goes back to the state that you left it at, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was really nice to see her, like, with this family that she's obviously, like, wants and craves and wishes this was, like, her everyday life. And so it was really nice to see, yeah, her smiling and taking a picture. But I thought it was even more devastating than if something, like, huge happened. The fact that all it took was, like, a phone call from Tacey being dumb and drunk for her dad to leave, and that just, like, crushing her beyond repair. Like, I think that just small moment of the fact, like, he's always going to choose her is just so devastating to her. Just, like, that small moment.
I think so too. You know, I thought it was really lovely to see. You can kind of see Beth's walls come down a little bit, and she was actually enjoying the moment. She was resistant at first, but then started to enjoy herself. And they're talking, like, reminiscing about old times and whatnot. And I was like, oh, this is such a nice moment to, like, see Beth in this space. However, it's just tricky, I feel like, to be a parent of, like, to have, like, two families.
Yeah.
And so, especially because the other one is so much younger and
Not that, like, 1-2 years. She acts like she's a lot younger, though.
well, she's a freshman, right? So she'd be
And
like
they're
14
juniors.
and they're juniors, so that's
Yeah.
like 17-ish.
Yeah.
So it's like, but there's space. And like as a
Right.
14-year-old, you know, and then if like they're drinking or something, it's like I feel like the dad was like in a really tough position because it's like, how do you balance like, here, I told you I was at a dinner, but now it's like you've gotten yourself into like a sticky situation and like, where are the
Right.
adults to take care of you? You get me?
Yeah.
And like you called me for help, so obviously you need something. So it's a hard balance, and it's unfortunate that like they don't get along, and the dad, I blame him because he should be navigating all of the women in his life.
Right.
So the fact that he's not doing it correctly, it's all on him. But it
Yeah.
is a tough situation to be in.
I think that's fair. I like that you brought up the fact that, like, yeah, I mean, if you are a dad and your kid who's, like, really young calls you and does sound drunk and asks for help, I guess that's fair. I was like, God, screw this guy. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just leave this dinner. But, okay, I like that you brought that side up because I guess that's true.
But I did feel bad for Beth because
Yeah.
that's a really sucky situation to be in. Like
At
your
the-
dad just leaves at the drop
yeah.
of a dime for someone else. Like,
At the end of the day, we just have to blame Tacey.
yeah,
It's all we
exactly.
always
It's
have
always
to
her.
do.
It's always her fault.
No, I was just gonna say that, you know, I don't think it was intentional because, like, even when they were at the dinner, he's totally praising Beth. He's like, you know, she's our star. She always has been. Like, that moment was so for her, and I don't feel like he just like walked out because Tacey called. She was like belligerently drunk, right? So like for any parent, he's like, oh my God, like what mess
Yeah.
is she in, right? Like
Right.
she sounded all crazy. I question what her intention really was. Like, Tacey knew that they were all at a family dinner, and then she showed up the next day, and she looked totally fine. So who knows, like,
Maybe
how
she didn't
like,
need
drunk
help.
she...
Right.
So
yeah,
manipulative.
Yeah, like, who
Ugh.
knows how drunk she really was.
Yeah, totally.
Because she did make that comment after. She's like, oh, he called, and he didn't hesitate to... I called, and
Yeah.
he didn't hesitate to leave. Like,
Right.
come on.
What a snake.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
a freaking snake. I did kind of love, you know, at the end. I mean, I didn't because obviously it just kind of like made Beth more upset. But the mom's like, yep, drinks for everyone here. Give yourself a 40% tip. Like, I
Right.
thought that was so funny. Like,
I was like, dang, Ma.
Like, that's not what Beth needs. Like, Beth needs a better example of, like, whatever. But I kind of loved that.
I know. I loved it too, but at the same time, again, I feel bad for Beth.
Yeah,
like,
because she's making a scene, and that's not what Beth wants.
And then on top of it, it's like, obviously, like you said, like, right, you go right back to your old ways, your old patterns. So the dad leaves to go handle his new family. Mom's over here drunk and being belligerent, and it's like, here we go again.
And then Beth says it too. She's like, I didn't ask for any of this. Like, even the good, bad, and the ugly. She's like, see, we started off. Then she put her guard down. She was like, now I'm enjoying it, and now we're right back to the way things have always been.
Oh, that's so sad, guys.
It's like hopeless. It's terrible.
Poor thing. And I mean, she kind of spirals. She's panicking. She's like having a full panic attack back in the hotel room. She's like, can't get the air conditioner to turn off.
What was that about?
I don't know. But
I was like, is that Beth?
Like, you all right there, girlie? But she texts Addy. Addy's obviously not answering her phone. She doesn't have her phone. And she sees the screensaver. Because if you'll remember, Addy's screensaver was her and Beth forever, like for so many of the episodes. And the fact that it's her and Colette, yikes. What did you guys think about that?
It was hurtful.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she's already going through a panic. She's thinking they're gonna come back after the dinner, and she's like, we're gonna hang out, just us. And then
You're right. She did say that.
Yeah. And then she's, in the hotel by herself, having a panic attack. And then to see that, like, I think it's the shocker, right? Anything that continues to shock your system. So it's like she didn't expect to see that. I think she expected a completely different outcome, to like find her BFF, and they were finally reconciling and this dream was happening. And then she's like, what the hell? Like, did I fool myself again? Like, here's the proof right here.
Yeah, because you're right. In the beginning of this episode, they are like back to being BFFs. They like make it so the other girls can't even sleep in the room, which I thought was hilarious. And like Beth literally asked her to her face, like, oh, are you just gonna have like a powwow with Colette tonight? And I was like, no, it's just gonna be the two of us.
Yeah. She's like, really?
Girl.
Dang.
One night you could have let Beth have this with you.
Right. I think it's just also too, like, the whole Colette thing. It like, she continues to be like Addie's kryptonite, like she just always calls at the wrong time, is there at the wrong time.
Yeah.
I feel so like Beth. She really gets it hard every episode, but like this episode, she really got like slapped twice and then sucker punched.
Yeah,
like, it was
over
it
and
was
over.
really bad.
We also get, so Riri's there cheering everyone on, and her and another girl have this like quick little moment when the other girl's like, oh yeah, surprised they wanted like to share, a room with just them, and Riri's like, there's a lot more that you don't know about the situation. Do you guys have any theories about that? Like, what does she know? And what happened at the summer camp?
Yeah, I don't know about the summer camp, but like, Riri has spent time alone with Beth before. And if you remember that one time, I think it was like episode 3 when they're at the bar and, they kind of while out together. So I think Beth may have made a few smart comments to Riri, and that's why she's kind of like, oh, there's way more to this story than just what this appears. So yeah, I think she may know about the drama and just some feelings that Beth has towards Addy.
Interesting. What about you?
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. I'm excited to just see it unravel. We only have a couple episodes left, so I'm kind of like, how are we going to pack all of this in? Because there seems like a lot of loose ends that we need to like tie together. So I'm kind of like, hopefully that comes out too.
Yeah, I'm excited. Maybe get some flashbacks or something. I think that would be really fun to kind of see
Riri
how.
know?
Yeah, what do you know, girlfriend? Like.
I love a good flashback.
I do too. I think
Love
that
a
would be
good
a
one.
lot of fun to see kind of how it all came to be. We also get so at regionals, we get these a lot of crazy scenes right before regionals happen, I would say. We get Beth and Tacey like going at it in this dressing room, and we kind of, touched on this before, but wow, that biting comment about like, oh yeah, you think you're so special, but it all goes away. And Tacey's like, yeah, well, you should know. And I was like, oh, she's going to say something about the dad, but she says something about Addy. I think that's like where it really, really hurts her, because I think that maybe she's gotten sort of used to being like, it obviously doesn't feel good to be like, not have her dad, sort of in her life. But Addy was like her last thread of like the person she thought was always going to be there. What did you guys think of Tacey bringing that up?
I think just major low blows from both sides. And I
Yeah.
think it sucks that they have to have this type of rivalry, right? Like, I could only imagine how complicated a situation like that is. It's like to share the same dad, but that stuff take place out of infidelity. Then be on the same squad and be competitors and like, it's unfortunate because it's so much unnecessary drama that's not even really theirs, but boy, do they know how to give it to each other.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tell it,
yeah,
for real.
like Beth is like, fetus, you got way messed up last year. She's just airing out
She's
her
gonna
business.
replace her. I'm
Yeah.
like, Beth, you don't have that power anymore. I'm so sorry.
Right. Like, that was not your place. But my thing with this whole thing was, like, Addy. Like, why didn't Addy say anything? I was really kind of like, where are you at?
Yeah.
Like, you have, I know that it's sisters and, like, maybe you don't jump into, like, sibling rivalry. Or,
Oh,
like,
they've never had a problem with that before.
that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, Addy, where are you at? She's over here way disrespecting you, disrespecting your friend, and you just decided to say nothing, and then you're going to try to check Beth again? Like, no.
I think that Addy is so laser focused that she's like, I don't have time with this. Like, we have to compete out there because she still have the, I think in the back of her mind, like, I could be getting scouted if we go to state. So, like, I don't have time for, this mess right here. Like, we can do this after the fact, but, like, this is going to hurt my chance. I think that she's finally being selfish enough to be like, this is going to hurt my future. So we're not doing this right now. I don't have time for this.
I mean, I get that, but
Yeah.
it should have been your friend. Like,
I know.
At the end of the day, you can need to show a little loyalty, my friend, and be like, you know what, Tacey, hush. Nobody was talking to you. Nobody asked you. Bye.
Yeah, well,
And then check her privately. You know what I'm saying? And then
Right.
be over it. Like, but show that you have some type of loyalty to your friend of X amount of years. Like, don't just let her be disrespected in front of you and the team.
yeah, well,
And her name was called, so it's like it's not even that Addy would be
Right.
jumping in. Her
Right.
name was called in the mix, so she
Boom.
could be like, "Look, we can handle this."
Keep
after.
your name out of my mouth.
Yeah,
Like, let's
100%.
stop. Let's keep going. Like, yeah.
100%.
I
And
was
then,
upset.
yeah, I agree. And building off of that, things really come to a head between Addy and Beth, too. 43 seconds before they're supposed to go out on Matt, they have this, like, crazy argument when everyone else is already out there. And Beth is like, you were never going to choose me. Like, what does she have that I don't have? Why don't you ever choose me? And Addy's finally just like, well, she isn't you. What are we thinking about this?
I mean, wrong time, wrong place, right? Like, no question about that. But it was bothersome for me. Like, that was such like a relationship drama. Like, even those questions, why don't you choose me? Like, those are such, like, boyfriend, girlfriend, like, problems, right? Like,
Yeah.
cheating problems. So I just thought it was weird that she was even coming at her like that. And, back and forth. Yeah, and then I had an issue with Colette not being there. Like, yes, like her phone is blowing up, but she should have been there before even all the drama went down.
Right, you're the
like she should
coach.
have been
Yeah.
there.
She didn't jump in at all.
No,
No.
she should have been the anchor before even the back and forths happened. So I just feel like it spiraled out of control, and I think it was just way off the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the whole thing had me, like, stressed because I was like, 43 seconds, you're over here giving her a whole lecture, and this is not the time or the place. You're about to miss your moment, and they're about to mess up or something. And I thought on the routine, after you have this intense conversation with your best friend, like, there's no way you're going to perform correctly out there. No way. But they did fine.
They did.
But I thought that the conversation was very deep, and Addy kind of was dismissive.
She really was. This is like a whole, I mean, we've seen glimpses of like this Addy, but she is like stone cold now. And what you were saying about how this feels like a relationship, this is another reason why I think that there is definitely something that's like sexual drawing Addy to Colette. I was like, which order do those names go in? Drawing Addy to Colette, because I do think that something that, Riri is saying, I think that there is something deeper and, sexual that happened between Addy and Beth.
Maybe that's what happened at summer camp.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm thinking that Colette really is like the other woman in more ways than just like, oh, it's my best friend, it's my mentor, whatever. Like, I think it's like a whole nother actual like deep level there.
That would make sense because that's such couple conversation.
Yeah.
Like, why would BFFs have conversations like that?
Yeah.
But I mean, not to play devil's advocate here.
No, please.
But it's like, it makes sense a little bit because it's like, if you have a best friend and there's like loyalty, right? And you feel abandoned from your best friend, like low key, a friendship is almost like a relationship without like the sexual part of it. You know, it's like you spend time with them, you hang out with them, you text them, you call them, you tell them your deepest, darkest secrets, you're vulnerable, you're blah, 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 right? And then on top of that, like if you're feeling abandoned, like those feelings still come up. So Beth has been feeling very like left alone and she's not feeling loved or feeling that same attention that Addy was giving her in the first like couple of episodes, like where, you know, she was doing anything and everything Beth wanted, and like now she's kind of not. So Beth feels this like this need to be like, I'm not wanted, like no one wants me, even my best friend, you don't want me. And so it's almost like, why don't you choose me? Like, why are you always choosing other people over me? Like, you're my friend, you know? So it's almost like I kind of get it.
Okay.
It wasn't maybe like the time or the place for it, obviously.
No, yeah.
But I mean, they're 17, so it's like I give them a pass on some of this stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I mean...
No, I agree with you. And I think that there are definitely elements. Like, I don't think you're wrong at all. I just think it's like there might be a whole nother level.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not discrediting that.
Yeah. I think it's all of that combined, which is so messy. And, gosh, when Beth goes out there, that smile she places on her face is a manic.
Scary. Isn't it scary?
Terrifying.
I was like, who's she about to kill?
We were all just like so tense watching this episode. Let's briefly also touch on Colette's other relationships in her life. Her and Matt are like on pretty good terms, it seems. Like, she's like, yeah, I'm always gonna come home. Like, I know I love this car, but it wasn't practical for our family. She's like a family woman now. Nice. And there's a big obstacle in the way of that, and that would be our man Will. And she kind of tries to cut it off, and she's finally like, fine, I'll go to your house and like we'll have a conversation just to kind of get him to stop. And so we see that happen at the very end of the episode, I'm assuming directly after she goes to the house, when Coach texts Addy in the middle of the night to come on over and help a girl out. And Colette says it's bad, and Addy sees our guy Will land on the floor, lifeless. Reactions to this?
My God, I did not expect it was going to be him. Not at all. Again, like I thought he was going to be the killer. So I was surprised to see him lying there over the coffee table, dripping in blood. Like, that was not expected. Colette, I mean, did she do it? Did she go there? Did she already know she was going to do it? When she said she was going to go to his house, like, was that already predetermined? Or did she go there and something went down and she pushed him and he fell? So I don't know. I mean, obviously she's responsible to some degree because she's lying there with a dead body there.
Right.
It's bad, Addy. Well, yeah.
But now, like, why did she get Addy involved? Like, that is so wrong. Like, now that's making her an accomplice.
Totally. I mean, she's going to have to... My thing is this. The car... The fact that she totaled it now, she's like, oh, he's like, you love the car. No, it's fine. And she like made up an excuse. I think there's something weird about this dang car. I need you guys to come back with the car situation and this whole accident that she made up. Okay, because like you said last week, she probably did it herself, and I need to know why. Distraction from having sex with Will and being late for that dinner. Yeah. Besides that, I need to know what was up with you. Like, why do you want the car totaled so badly?
Ooh, that's a really good.
Yeah, is there
that's
DNA?
Very
like,
good.
what's happening?
Like, what is in this car that you want to get rid of it so bad?
because they brushed over it pretty fast. So I agree with you. I think it might be coming back.
I hope so.
Wow. This was such a fun one to break down. But guys, we're not done yet. We're not even close to being done yet. We have some trivia to discuss.
We have a little trivia.
It's a little trivia.
A little bit.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, true or false that you can get a scholarship for cheerleading?
True.
Wow, you guys are good.
I know this because of Cheer on Netflix. I shout this out every week.
Wasn't that good?
So good, guys.
That was so good.
If you guys haven't seen it, highly recommend if you like Emmy.
I need to see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the next one, it's real easy.
Okay.
I know you got this.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So what is the position that they call a girl that is at the top of, like, when they throw her up?
Flyer.
Flyer.
Yeah. Yeah. Boom.
Thank
you guys got it right.
Yes.
Thank you.
2 for 2 this
Love
week.
that trivia. Just give us a little softball. I love that.
Something.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I know, because some of the last week was hard.
Yeah,
last
I
week
didn't
gave
do
hard.
well, so I'm glad that I feel smarter this week.
good to win.
Yeah, we're winners on this team.
We're always winners.
Yes.
I only coach winners. You guys. And then Ashmin, you have some news for us.
Yes, you guys. Woohoo. So I just want to say, on behalf of all of us, thank you so much to our wonderful, wonderful viewers. Last week's episode, you guys, we got so many great comments from so many wonderful people telling us how much they love our panel. We're doing a great job, the feedback, and seriously, you guys, thank you so much, because we absolutely love what we do, but it makes it 100 times better to do it for you guys and to get your engagement. It just means so much to us.
Yeah.
So thank you. And I couldn't get everybody's name on my list, but there are a few names that I do want to make a shout out to. So Aaliyah Solomon, thank you for your sweet, sweet words. Libra Chick 41. I'm a Libra too. Hey. Kat and Jenna James. Thank you guys so much for your wonderful, wonderful feedback.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I really love going through and reading the comments, and it's a lot of fun to hear your guys' theories too, because sometimes they differ with ours, and I love it. Gives me a new perspective on everything.
And
that
keep
I didn't
them
even think
coming. Anything you hear on the show, you want us to address, we are seriously reading through them. You see our likes, Insights by Ish. I went through and I liked them, so please,
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Sure.
We're running super short on time, but let's do some quick one sentence predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, well, I feel in the next episode we do see a gun, but I don't really feel like that was the cause of the accident of Will's death. I don't think he was, because he had blood coming out of his, I don't know, it was weird. I don't think it was the gunshot.
Interesting.
So we know they're going to bury the body. I just wonder who's going to pop up. Is someone going to see those two burying the body?
Oh.
Is there going to be a third person?
I think that maybe everything looks a little bit simpler than it is in regards to this murder. That's all I'm going to say. I agree with you guys. I think we all just agree that this ain't over. This ain't even close to being over.
It just got started.
Beginning. Guys, thank you so much for breaking down this episode with us. Where can everyone find you guys on social media?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Ebone Chatman 12.
Awesome.
You could find me on Instagram at Insights by Ish.
You guys can find me on Twitter at alphabet_Ann and on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.